currently writing a PDF guide that I'm going to sell online about getting your puppy to sleep through the night, the first night you bring them home. And so that's what's on my mind this morning. And so I figured I'd give you some quick tips. Mainly pertains to puppies, but if you have an older dog who's getting you up in the middle of the night to go potty, then this will also help with them. So the main things that people do wrong is they don't take away food and water early enough. And so if your puppy gets a drink of water at 9 p.m., you are definitely going to have to get up in the middle of the night to take them out. What we do is we take it away at least 4 hours before bedtime. So I go to bed about 10. I make sure no puppies get water after 6 p.m. So I usually feed dinner around 5 and last water's at 6. So I know they've got at least 4 hours to empty the tanks. And that way I know I can call their bluff in the middle of the night if they want to get me up, so that I can trust that. It's almost like when you go to the hospital and the nurses are so OCD about how much water did you take in, how much are you peeing, that sort of thing. It's very similar. They want to monitor very closely to ensure their patient is processing food properly, getting enough in and out, because it lets you know what's going on. So it's not quite as intense with your puppy, but it's similar. I want to know exactly when they ate, exactly when they drank, because that will tell me when they're going to need to go again. So for the overnight thing, we get puppies sleeping through the night, typically on night 2, sometimes even on night 1, but almost always night 2 we're good to go, because we know when the puppy is eating and drinking, and we know how much. We control that very closely so that we make sure they're well fed, well hydrated, but not too hydrated. So pretty much every puppy that comes to us for potty training, or even not for potty training, they're way overhydrated. So if they're peeing clear liquid, it means they are getting more than enough water, which is totally fine, except when you're trying to potty train, it makes it very difficult if your puppy has to pee every 14 minutes because they're chugging water. It makes it really hard to get them in a consistent pattern cycle, and it makes it hard for them to hold it too. If it's like if you drink a 64-ounce big gulp, you're gonna have to pee multiple times in the next hour, and it's gonna feel kind of like an emergency. Versus if you just have a glass of water, you can hold it a lot longer, and it's not such an emergency. So same thing happens for your puppy. And then on the fecal side, if you're overfeeding your puppy, or they are eating low quality food, which most of the dogs that come to us are, then they get like soft stools. So it's like, we call it soft serve. It's like that soft serve ice cream at McDonald's. If it looks like that, either too much food or really low quality food. And that is hard for dogs to hold. It's not diarrhea, but it's closer to that. And so when they need to go, it's like they need to go now. And so that makes it hard to predict when the pup's going to need to poop, and it makes it hard on your puppy. They're like, they can't, if you need them to hold it in their kennel for a little longer, it's really hard for them to do that. So that is really important to monitor. Oh, and too much food does a similar thing to a lot of puppies. Gives them that soft serve, and then also they're pooping 4+ times a day, which makes it really hard to predict when they're going to poop, and they just have to poop more, and so it's just more work, and they're not getting the health benefits. In fact, it's bad for their health to overeat. They get overweight. It's bad for their joints as they're developing, etc. But also they gotta poop a lot, and it makes your life harder. So good quality food makes the stools more firm, makes them only need to poop 2-3 times at the most per day, and it tends to be a consistent pattern. So you feed them at a certain time, they gotta poop at a certain time, and every puppy's system is a little different. And so we just monitor each puppy. We say, okay, this puppy, we're feeding them at 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. and they're consistently pooping, at 8 a.m. right after they eat, and then, let's say a lot of times it's like 9 p.m. they poop, and then we're like, cool, they're good for the night. I know they're not going to need to poop in the middle of the night, so I can tell them no and go back to bed if they start whining. And then other puppies will do that same feeding schedule, and they poop at 9 a.m. in the morning and 3 p.m. in the afternoon for some reason. So, we just pay attention to that, get to know our puppy, and that helps us know for sure when they need to go. So if we do, just one last quick tip, if we do get a puppy who poops in the middle of the night, we get that occasionally, we stick to our schedule, and for whatever reason this puppy's system says, nope, 3 a.m. is the pooping time, the time to poop. Like, that is not something we want to continue, because we don't want to have to get up at night. So then we'll go to, instead of feeding dinner, like breakfast, lunch, dinner, we'll go, let's feed this puppy breakfast and lunch and no dinner. Gives their system more time to clear everything out, and that almost always fixes it. So we'll do, you know, the normal 8-9 a.m. breakfast, and then we'll give them lunch at, some will go as early as noon, others will do, you know, 2 o'clock, something like that, and sure enough, that'll fix it. Puppies pooping 9 p.m., 10 p.m. at their last potty break, and then they're good for the night, and we have the problem fixed, and we get to sleep through the night. So hopefully those tips are all helpful. They will, oh, one more bonus tip: put your dog on a leash when you potty break them, especially if it's in the middle of the night, because they will turn it into a like sniff break, goof around, play keep away. If your dog is doing, if they're not doing that, you don't need to put them on leash. But if they do, then put them on leash. Makes it really easy to say, okay, we're out, we're here to do your, so you can do your business, and then we're going right back to bed. And that really helps them get in the rhythm of, oh, it's not goof around playtime, it's time to potty and then go relax. So it keeps the energy levels down late at night, where you're not trying to get them all amped up and hyper. You're trying to get them calmed down, ready for bed. And they learn to do shorter potty breaks. So a lot of people that come to us say, oh, my puppy takes 15-30 minutes to go to the bathroom at 3 in the morning. That sounds like torture to me. And the way you fix that is with a leash, and them learning that, like, hey, this, I don't get enough freedom to go goof off. I just get to come out, we keep them moving, keep them walking around the yard, because it helps them go, and then they go right back in their kennel for sleep. And it teaches them to get in that proper habit, and teaches them what exactly the purpose of this potty break is, which honestly some of them are a bit confused, because they're like, no, this is what we do. You come out, I run around, I chase leaves, and I goof off. You chase me around the yard, and I have a great time, and then when I'm ready, then maybe I'll go to the bathroom, or maybe we'll go in the house, and then I'll poop as soon as we get in the house, which happens a lot too. So if they go on leash, potty break, right back into the kennel, makes it very hard to do that. If they don't go on your short little potty break, what we do is we put them right back in the kennel, and we're like, I'm pretty sure this puppy needs to go, but they didn't go because they were distracted out in the yard. So we put them back in their kennel for 10 or 15 minutes. We throw the leash back on, we go back outside, a couple of minutes, short little potty break, right back in the kennel. And we'll just repeat that until the puppy goes, and we're like, cool, I'm pretty sure this puppy is on empty. Now they can come off the leash, or now they can go hang out and run around the house for a little bit. And them kind of earning their freedom with going to the bathroom becomes really all the reward you need, because they go like, oh, if I just go and get this over with, then this leash comes off, and that I like, that's awesome. And so they'll kind of get with your program, and they'll enjoy it. So that honestly, those tips right there are worth gold if you actually put them into place and do it consistently. You will get a dog who is sleeping through the night, and you get to wake up fully rested, and so does your dog, and that's a win-win for everybody. So go use those. Bye.